I don't know why I did this to myself, guys. I recorded 10 minutes of it, and then it was, uh, I had to re-record it because the. I'm gonna take a deep breath. My nose is really stuffy at the moment. Um, the reason being is because I caught a cold, and I thought it was COVID-19. I don't want to ever want to go through that again. But the last video that I did was about 3 months ago. I was talking about Pol Pot and the meaning of the name Pol Pot. And in that 3 months, guys, it's been a lot of roller coaster that occurred, that happened, and it made me really think about, jobs and things like that, what I want to do with my life, because I'm 33 years old, and I come to that conclusion in my life. Well, I come to that point in my life that I don't want to do, janitorial for quite some time. I mean, janitorial. So if you guys don't know, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of information about the background of my work and what I did and stuff like that. So the video today, I'm going to be talking about the Great Resignation that's happening around the world. You see people protesting, especially like the John Deere company. It's like a tractor company they make, stuff for, tractors and stuff like that for the agriculture sector. But when I was 16, turning 17, my sister got me a job at McDonald's. I worked the grill, I did the register, I did the stocking, I did pretty much I was almost a manager at that point, because the fact that I liked my job. Believe it or not, McDonald's treated me really well. And that's why I stood there for about 3-4 years. And I really liked my coworkers. The good thing about McDonald's was the fact that I really liked my coworkers. If you have good coworkers, I think that's what keeps you staying at the job. If you stay with your coworkers, you stay at the job because there was cool people around your job. I mean, you could deal with shitty customers all day long, but I think the reason why I stood there was the fact that I had really good support there. And plus, I was working with my sisters. All my sisters, and we all worked there, so it was a pretty cool gig. I'm not gonna lie about that. I mean, some could say, well, you're just flipping burgers and stuff like that, but no. It taught me really good work ethics. And then from 16, 17, 18, 19, I think I resigned. I went to college full time, and they were really flexible. McDonald's was really flexible because it all depends on who owns McDonald's, okay? And then after that, I worked retail. I started at Walmart, and then I think I lasted for about 3-4 years, and then I stopped working. I had like a little mental breakdown because the pressure of life started to get to me for a little bit. And then after that, I sold insurance for a little bit, and then I was an entrepreneur for a little bit, working online. And then after that, I didn't really like that either. And then sorry, my throat. I know I sound terrible. I know I'm supposed to sound so cute and, but no, I'm really sick at the moment. But I'm not really sick, but I'm just, the cold is really bothering me. But anyways, did that. And then I got into janitorial. And the thing that I like about janitorial is because the fact that I did everything. I was by myself. That's what I like about the job. I was by myself. I could listen to like music. I could, I'm by myself. I don't have customers screaming at me, asking me dumbass questions. I was on my own. I really like the independence, and I like the quietness and things like that. And so I did it for quite some time, and to the point I became a supervisor. I started to train other janitors and stuff like that. I worked for a very good company, but I was working 14, 15-hour days. Okay, can you imagine being on your feet doing a laborer's job for 15, 16-hour days? You know what I mean? And the reason why I did it, some janitors, they only have like 6 hours. Some work 7, some work 8, some work 10, some work 16. If you're a supervisor, you work 16 hours sometimes. And, it all depends on the day, and it all depends on the client, I guess. So anyways, and then I got pregnant with my boy. I was 24 25, and I made a decision to have a baby because I was getting older, and my eggs were just drying up. I shouldn't say that, but it was. And became pregnant, and then stood home for about 2 years, and then I went back to work working at the mall selling glass. I was not a salesperson, but I ran a store in the mall where we sell glass. Like you guys ever seen like those glass and inspirational quote and stuff like that? And it's a really cool job. I'm not gonna lie about that. But the boss was an absolute broad. Okay, she was just a bitch all the time. And then it was like during Christmas and stuff, so it was a seasonal position. And after that, I left that job for about a couple months, and then I went back to Janitorial again, and I worked for a very good company. So I'm gonna say that company's name. The company was Environmental Control. Love that company, and I was working part-time only because I wanted to be kind of in between. I want to be the main caretaker of my son. So if you're a mom listening to this, you probably understand where I'm coming from, because Jeremy is not really good at doctor's appointment. He's not really good at knowing Jacob. So I stood home, and I was a stay-at-home mom. Well, not stay-at-home mom, but I was working part-time. I worked only for like 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then I worked. And then I deal with all the good stuff in the morning, which is pretty cool because I brought my own money and I paid for my own stuff, extra money on the side that paid for like the electric bill and stuff like that. And then we moved. And so I resigned from that company this year, May 2021. And then in July, when we moved to Tonopah, I worked at the famous historical, the Mizpah Hotel. Great people, by the way. I have nothing negative to say about the people, except for that girl that gave me COVID-19. So in July 2021, I started working at the Mizpah for about a week and a half, I think 2 weeks. But on my second week, I got sick with COVID-19. And we had protective gear. We told the guests to stay 6 feet apart. We had, stuff laying around back, like antibacterial wipes and stuff like that everywhere. You had to do it because my boss was very strict about cleanliness. She wants everything to be clean because it's an historical famous hotel. So yeah, you're gonna have to keep your cleanliness up. But the thing that I noticed is that I was the only one wearing a mask. Okay, so on week 2, I came to work that day wearing a mask and stuff like that. And you kind of have to. You don't have to wear it because the fact that when you're working for a desk, you are by yourself. You're in your own little bubble. Nobody bothers you. You're in your own little world. So sometimes I would take it on and off, But this day I made the mistake. So it was a Friday that I was working. I was working like 7 days a week because I was working 7 days. Yeah, I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I started on I don't remember. But anyways, I remember it was on a Friday because it was really busy. Fridays is really busy. People are traveling. They're going to start the weekend. And the girl that was training me, she came to work and she was like, dude, I don't really feel well. And I asked her, what's wrong? She goes, my back hurts, my stomach hurt, and I feel like I got a cold. And I told her, I go, well, it's in the middle of July. I'm not saying that you're not going to get the flu or cold during July, but, it's kind of unusual, So I said, hey, maybe you should go get tested for COVID-19. I mean, the moment that you show symptoms, you should definitely go get tested. And she didn't believe me. She was like, I'm just going to come to work. And she did. So I remember she was standing right behind me and I took my mask off to itch my nose and she sneezed. And I was like, uh-oh. I go, this is it. I'm done. Then it was a couple of days passed and I was like, okay, I feel okay. I guess she didn't have COVID. Maybe it was just a regular cold. And then I felt it on Tuesday. Yeah, I felt the itchy throat. And then Wednesday, that's when it started to itch. My throat started to itch. And then I developed a fever the next day. And then on Saturday, I came to work and my fever would not go down. I think the highest one that I saw was like 105. And it was so bad that I was sweating. I was drenching. And I think the highest temperature that I saw was like 105, 106. I should be dead. But I think the temperature measurement thingamajig, I think it was inaccurate. I think it was just, I think my fever was stuck at 101. So then I kind of told my boss, and I said, hey, it was on the Saturdays. I remember it was like July 31st. And I told her, I was like, hey, you know, um, I think, I've caught COVID from, from so and so. And she said, you came to work, and she goes, you're showing symptoms of COVID-19. I'm going to disinfect everything. She didn't freak out. See, the good thing about her, even though, like, I feel bad that I had to resign in the middle of my quarantine, was that she was adamant. She was adamant about cleaning, even though she was kind of like the conspiracy theorist that COVID-19 doesn't exist, blah, blah, blah. But she did think about other people like myself who is kind of cautious about COVID-19. And, like, she disinfected everything, she sprayed everything, and she made sure everything was okay. And then she sent me home. And then when I called the clinic to get tested that day, they want to charge me $135 just to get a COVID-19 test. What absolute bullshit! With COVID-19, I think it should be available to everybody free, because this is a fucking pandemic. This is an emergency. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I got tested that day, and I was positive. And dude, it's not like the cold and flu, guys. It's like both of it times 10. I was out. I couldn't get out of bed. I had this headache. See, the thing is, I didn't have stuffy nose or cough. Well, I had a really bad cough. And it felt like I lost control of my body. I can't really explain. It was like an out-of-body experience. And so I'm not the only one that felt this way, too. My hair was falling out. My hair still falls out till this day. Okay, guys? And my body was hurting. I didn't really have energy to do anything. It was like fatigue, where it's just like I felt like I was not there. It was like an out-of-body experience. With fever, I was, sometimes I lost consciousness here and there. My lungs felt like it was on fire. It was just terrible. It was just a terrible experience, and I really don't want to go through that again. And HR, the Human Resources Department, contacted me and said, hey, you got 10 days. 10 days? Holy shit. I couldn't really do anything. I couldn't cook. I couldn't eat. I didn't want to do anything. And you're just giving me 10 days? Which is absolutely bullshit. And like, that's the CDC recommendation. We need more than 10 days. And that's when it made me think some more. So I sucked it up, felt better 4 weeks later, got a job doing janitorial again at the school that my son goes to school. And it only lasted about a month. I put my 2 weeks notice last week. Why did I do it? Because I got fucking sick of it. There was an outbreak again of COVID-19. Okay? COVID-19 is one of the main reasons that I did it. There was an outbreak. Kids were one by one. Classes were in quarantine one by one. And then all of a sudden I developed symptoms on Tuesday. I was like, holy shit. And like I said, I knew it was the cold or the flu. One of the two. And by the way, I got tested and I'm negative, but I hated it because I'm exposed. And my last job that I was there for 4 years doing janitorial, I didn't have any equipment or anything like that. I didn't have any masks. My employer didn't give us anything, no protective gear, no nothing. And this is the same thing. Because at the school, nobody wears masks, nobody stays 6 feet apart. Everybody sent their kids to school. And if you're sick, stay home. Don't do what I did, okay? Because you don't know if you have COVID-19, you're going to affect everybody around you, because it's freaking gross. Don't stay home. If you're a parent, keep your kid at home at all costs, okay? I mean, nobody, it's just like, don't do it. Don't do it. Stay home. Use your sick time. Do what you got to do. Tell your boss, hey, I'm sick. Stay home. So I put my resignation, I resign. And I'm I'm not, because this article is talking about in August, but I resigned too. Because I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do janitorial anymore. And I was getting benefits. I was getting health insurance and stuff like that. So why did I quit? Well, we're going to go to this article. And I'm not the only one that feels the same way, because I was not near my son. My son was in the emergency room not too long ago. He had bronchitis that led to sepsis. And it made me think. It made me think about my son. It made me think about my career. It made me think about, no, I'm not going to do any job whatsoever. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have shitty jobs. At the bottom in the comment section, tell me about your shitty job that you had that you just said, enough is enough. I'm going to change my career. So that's what happened to me when I was working at the school doing janitorial. I was burnt out doing janitorial before, and then I got burnt out Like, till this day, I was like, nope, enough. I'm not going to do it anymore. So, we're going to read this article. You'd be surprised to learn what the workers who quit their jobs in the Great Resignations are doing now. So, there a lot of people are quitting their jobs in August. I quit my job in October of this right when I post this video. My 2 weeks is ending next Thursday. Well, Friday technically, but here is only a 4-day school and work week because we're out in the middle of nowhere, so we get 3 days off to go, do stuff, because it's like an hour and a half to go to a doctor's appointment. To go shopping in Vegas is like 3 hours away from me right now. The closest Walmart is like 2 hours and a half away from you. So yeah, that's why we have a 4-day work week, but we work 10-hour days here. If you're working full time, it all depends on you and where you work as well. Some people they work 9-hour days, some work 8. It all depends. But anyways, you'd be surprised to learn what the workers who quit their jobs in the Great Resignations are doing. We keep hearing about the Great Resignation, a fast-growing trend of millions of workers quitting their jobs. The most recent data from the U.S. government shows that around 4.3 million Americans left their jobs in August alone. Surprisingly, experts don't have a specific answers to where they're going or what they're doing after they're resigning their jobs. I think I watched a video the other day where there's a chick that quit her corporate job. Okay, now this bitch was making like $14,000 every 2 weeks, and she quit her job to live in a van. To travel the United States of America because she just got tired of it. Okay, so the prevailing theory is that enhanced unemployment benefits, financial stimulus checks mailed out to families, fear of catching the virus, and lack of childcare are responsible for potential workers sitting on the sidelines. Once the extra unemployment benefits ended, to the surprise of economists, we didn't see more people accepting new jobs. It feels like there has to be more to the story. Meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. That's pretty much the same thing that I'm going through at the moment. Roughly 40% of the jobs that people quit were in the restaurant, hotel, travel, bars, warehouses, manufacturing, and healthcare sectors. These folks contend with long, constantly changing hours, rude customers' behaviors, low wages, and high stress. Yes. Rude customers. I'm fucking sick of that shit. It's the holidays, guys. It's approaching. Be nice to your retail workers because they don't get paid enough for your shit, okay? And I agree with that. So, working these jobs and stuff like that, like I said, I work in a hotel. There were some times where, like I said, I was in there for 2 weeks, but I came from retail too. Sick of dealing with the rude customers, customers that come in and just like demanding shit. Like they think the manager's going to make everything different when they want to return something without a receipt, okay? These workers are pushing back against poor pay, unpleasant work condition, and a lack of respect from management. Let me cut back to why I quit my job here. It's because of the secretary, and I hope she listened to this video. The school secretary was being an absolute bitch. She was talking down to me, and I just started the job. And she talked down to me because what? Why did she hate me? Well, I know why. It's because I had to let her work. And she didn't want to work. She wanted to just sit on her freaking computer and watch YouTube videos all day. The moment that somebody talked down to me, the more she talked down to me, it triggered something in my brain where I was like, you know what? I don't get fucking paid enough for this. Fuck you, Karen. All right? Sorry, I sound terrible. Once they left, many take their time to seek new types of opportunities that offer meaningful work and a path to advance. It's not just the blue-collar workers. White-collar professionals have reassessed their work lives and decided it's time for a change. There's a new dynamic at play. We used to view work as a chore. That's a need to earn a paycheck. We leave to work, now we want more. Employers are calling for flexible work arrangement, remote options, shorter work days based on output and performance as opposed to FaceTime 4-day work weeks, and the freedom from being chained to a desk 10 hours a day with a micromanaging boss and long commute. Yes, exactly. Amen. So I had a 4-day work week and it was really awesome. But I was working 10 hours, and 10 hours of, you're just 10 hours of garbage and stuff like that. It takes a toll on your body. Okay. Confronted with COVID-19 has forced us to face reality. We only have one short life to live, and we don't want to waste it doing something we don't like. And Instead, people are reimagining their work lives and seeking out careers that offer the chance to make a difference in the world. Some people are transitioning to roles that offer this type of experience. Others are upskilling, going back to school. Yes, I am going back to school to learn something new or finding a job in a different industry that offers growth opportunities and job satisfaction. Exactly what I'm doing at the moment. I don't know about others, but this is what I'm doing because I don't find purpose, meaning, or anything like that with the career path that I chose. And it's not a career, it's just a fucking job. It's not a career. I'm looking for something that gives me meaning, that I will have people that will appreciate me and that will not talk down to me like I'm garbage. And I was getting micromanaged. I was just dealing with people that wanted to take control of me at all times, that was spying on me. You know, the thing about my last job was it was so toxic. The environment was so toxic. It was just like people are spying on each other. You know, what time is this person going to lunch? What time is this person going home? Why, you know, and I was the only one in the building, like, by the end of the night. Like, I leave at 9:30. And even then, the secretary, she was just, like, spying on me if I'm doing my fucking job or not. Like, the hell? And that's what she did. She pretty much just spied on me. She spied on my lunch. She keep track of everything that we do and what everybody did. Because she's a bitch. That's pretty much what she is. And that's so freaking toxic to the point where I was like, you know, nope. I've been in toxic work environment before, and I knew right away that I had to go. So, anyways, starting new businesses. When a person loses or willingly leaves their job, the user's process is to seek out other similar type of role within their industry. They want to keep progressing forward in their desired profession. Interpret people may try to pivot to a new type of role or reinvent themselves. The bold and adventurous turn towards entrepreneurship. There has become a boom in new businesses. Becoming an entrepreneur is considered cool and trendy. Saying your work is at a startup is not a status symbol of success. A record number of new businesses have been created. In July 2020, around 600,000 new business applications were filed, up to 100% from the year prior. I definitely don't ever want to go work for the public sector anymore. I like private. Because even though it's private, you have more room to wiggle around in comparison to the public sector, in my personal opinion. Because, like, I was stuck, and the reason why I was stuck is because, you know, it's public and you have to, like, do this and that, and you didn't really have room for creativity. You didn't have room to do anything. Private, I would love to work for an upcoming private business, because the fact that I'm pretty sure it's, you know, I have an opportunity to provide my creativity, my imagination. I love to think. I love to create new things. I love to have the freedom to, you know, teach and shit like that. So, but anyways, the U.S. has started new businesses at a record-setting rate. It's in what is being deemed as a startup boom. John Haltiwanger, an economist at the University of Maryland, said that within the first 2 months of the virus outbreak, there was a noticeable rise in new business application. Inc. magazine, a publisher that covers small emerging business, echoed Haltiwanger's finding and wrote, during the early days of the pandemic, more new businesses were launched in the U.S. than any quarter in the history, and nearly 1.4 million startups were founded. This trend keeps gaining momentum. You probably noticed many new names popping up all over the place in our new business world. The wealth effect. The stock market has been hitting new heights on a regular basis. The real estate market is blazingly hot. Investor in cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and meme stocks have reaped financial windfall. There was 47% gain in the S&P 500 for the pandemic-induced low point in March 2020 to now an approximate 25% rise in the home prices since. Early in the pandemic, economists predicted a V-shaped recovery, which everything would bounce back, helping the vast majority of Americans return to where they were pre-pandemic. This didn't happen. Instead, we witnessed a K-shaped recovery. The upward swoop benefited the rich, and the downward angle represented everyone else who didn't participate fully in the rebound. For two-income household, it appears that many women pulled out of the job market to render childcare, as juggling work and kids were too much stress during the outbreak, which is true. That's what I had to do, because it was becoming really difficult. We couldn't find anybody to watch him. And my son is autistic, by the way. You know, he's pretty hard to handle. So you're gonna have to, like, hire somebody. They're gonna want to get paid extra, because my son, like, he's just, you know, he's really difficult to handle and a lot of energy. So me working full time, him working full time, we couldn't find anybody. Even though we live in a fucking small town, by the way. And I go, but even then I couldn't even take the time out of my day to interview babysitters. But then I have to pay for the babysitter too. You know, here in Nevada, I only make fucking like 10 something an hour. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get paid enough. I don't get paid enough for the shit that I deal with. But anyways, retiring early or forced into it. The wealth effect enabled and prompted seasoned workers to call it a day and retire. Their investments are all at all-time high. The baby boomers' homes substantially increase in value. Feeling financially comfortable and secure, they choose to get out of the corporate world on a high note. Sadly, there are a large number of older people who felt pushed out or were shoved out of the job market. Many have suffered from long-term unemployment, which is a pernicious problem. Once you're out of the job market for a certain length of time, it's hard to get back in. I agree. Ageism takes a toll. Hiring managers presume that the older workers don't possess the current tech skills. They also falsely believe the workers of a certain vintage would not get along with younger generation and try to take control. As times go on by without finding a job or getting interviews, they give up. These folks fall off the radar of the government data and are forgotten about. Teresa, I can't pronounce her last name, Gelhardt-Ducci, a labor economist and retirement security expert, said in an interview with MarketWatch, older workers are losing their jobs at a faster rate relative to younger people. Gelhardt-Ducci expressed her concern, saying a total of 4 million people are potentially pushed into retirement before they are ready. Half the Americans age 55 end up with retiring poverty or near poverty. That's so sad. It was reported that some 21.2 million Americans in their 60s are no longer in the labor force. And millions of boomers in their 60s still want or need to work and are having a hard time finding jobs. That's really sad too. I've seen workers, older workers, forcing to do jobs that are very laborious, and their body's not like young people. And of course, the young people's going to take majority of the jobs. So when the older people get kicked to the side, they don't even have a security net here, so it's really sad. According to a study, early retirement is a major force and accounted for the decline in the labor force participation. With the high sensitivity of seniors to the COVID-19 virus, this may reflect in part a decision to either leave employment earlier than planned due to higher risk of working or choice to not look for employment and retire after losing their work in the crisis. To add insult to injury, many older people lack the money needed to sustain them in their retirement, especially as life expectancy has increased. The Federal Reserve Bank reports roughly 44% of Americans say their retirement savings are not on track, and 25% aren't financially protected with pensions or sufficient retirement savings. So the rise of the day trader. Another entrepreneurial trend is seen in the rapidly expanding ranks of young novice day traders and investors. So it talks about the investment and YOLO, you only live once, approach, hoping to hit big quickly. So that's the young people. That's their attitude. Robinhood, the go-to trading app for many millennials and Gen Zers, report about 22.5 million accounts open, and a majority of them are actively traded. So it talks about cryptocurrency. But anyways, in conclusion of this article, the creators sought out jobs with meaning and purpose, flexibilities, and choices. They are pivoting to a new type of job and reinventing themselves as business owners or stock traders. The surge in wealth creation over the outbreak enabled rich boomers to retire, less fortunate older folks to left the workforce due to lack of opportunities. So it's really hitting hard with everybody. Jeremy he lost his job for 12 years when he was working in California. I lost my job of 4 years, and so it took a toll on me, and it pushed me over the edge because of the fact that I was at this place for quite some time. I really liked the company that I was working for, even though I was doing the same thing that I'm doing now. But I'm the type of person, I love to be able to be myself. I enjoy the independence. I enjoy working on my own. I love being creative. I love using my imagination. I like to think. I like to think logically. I like to solve problems. And of course, you're not going to get that doing a janitorial job per se. That's not what happened. I like the fact that I'm able to use my creativity and stuff like that, think independently while I'm working alone. I don't have people bother me, so I can do creativity, imagination stuff over on the side. Does that make sense? Like when I'm making content, podcasts and stuff like that, I haven't made a video in 3 months. Because why? It's because of the fact that I'm working full a fucking shitty job. Okay. And when I worked part-time doing janitorial at my last job, I was working like 3 hours a night, but I had the time to listen to my podcast and how can I improve on my YouTube videos and my content and stuff like that. And at the same time, I was making money to pay for stuff because I enjoy doing this, believe it or not. I enjoy making stuff, content and stuff like that. And we know that artists and stuff, they don't get paid enough for anything. Content creators doesn't get paid enough for anything, you know. But I really enjoy what I do. I like to think. I like to talk. I like to share things with people. And that's what I pretty much like to do. And, but at the same time, I knew that, that I wanted to do something different. And, I moved out of the sector officially next week. And I'm going for something that's mental health because the fact that I've always been fascinated with helping people and coaching people. And the thing is not only that I like making content and having an imagination per se, but I like to teach and I like to help people fight their demons because I'm fighting my own demons as well. You know, coming from a person who is, you know, suffering from major depressive disorder, OCD, and anxiety. So I have my problems, but at the same time, I think I find more purpose in meeting when I help other people succeed in that. And I like taking care of people at the same time. So I'm mixing everything all in one because I could do that and find meaning at my work, get, you know, have the energy to even make content and stuff like that on the side. And that's what I want to do. And I have the flexibility to say that I'm going to start work this time and then call it a day. Call it a day, and then I will, you know, take care of my son. And the thing is, the thing that I hated the most was that I hate working nights. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done. I want to work in the morning. I want to get my job done for the day, and so I could go at night and actually, you know, I'm really creative at night. Does that make sense? So I can use that time at night to make content and record podcast episodes, do research, you know, book upcoming guests, and to get a job during the day, helping people with, you know, their mental health and stuff like that. So I'm doing that. I want the flexibility. I want purpose. I want meaning. I don't want to do a lousy job just to get a paycheck, to get benefits and stuff like that. I get it. I totally get it. I understand the benefits and things like that. But you can get benefits and stuff on your own. You can make money, pay for benefits. And of course, you can say that, oh, well, you will make less. No, I was paying $156 fucking dollars a month to get health insurance with the school district. Fuck that. And it's Blue Cross. I think it was like not Blue Cross. It was like Blue Anthem. Like I had Blue Anthem. It was shitty. Okay, so yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna take the bullshit anymore. I'm done. My body hurts, and I've been ranting for like 31 minutes, but my body hurts, and I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. And I believe that you are the driver of your car. And you're going to choose the road of your journey. And you're going to choose your destination. I know that's cliche, but you're going to choose your destination. And you're going to take charge. Because I'm tired of complaining. I'm tired of having to, you know, hey boss, you know, can I take the day off? You know, can I go and take my son to the emergency room? No. I don't want to ask permission to do any of that. I want to be in control of my life. I want to be controlling my life. I want to say that I am who I am. And I'm going to do what I want to do. And it's a free country. You can quit your job. And some can say, you know, some can make the argument that's unprofessional. But like I said, I put my 2-week notice. I'm in quarantine, by the way. You know, like I said, I showed symptoms last Tuesday. And they're very strict. But I even have the fucking balls and the courtesy to stay home when sick. Okay? So, but anyways, yeah, I think, you know, I come to the conclusion in my life that, you know, I want to exercise my creativity, my imagination, my ability to see things that other people don't see. And to be like a teacher, you know, as well. And I don't want to be a teacher, okay? Because you have the government on your ass on that one. I want to be an open-minded teacher. And, you know, and that's the field that I'm going to go into. And I'm going to go back to school. It's scary. Don't get me wrong. It's really scary. I'm scared on my ass just thinking about it. But I do what I have to do. And I think it's really important that, you know, you should do the same thing. Don't sell yourself short. Don't stick to a job that you hate. If you wake up every morning feeling depressed and sick to your stomach, then you have to, like, drink alcohol and stuff to cope with your everyday problems because over a fucking paycheck because you're sad at your job, I say quit. find another job, have a job lined up, get your resume ready, and get it going. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I do have a podcast called Far Out Wisdom Podcast. You can find my information at faroutwisdom.podbean.com, which is right there. Right there. Look, why do people quit their job? So, anyways, there you go. Here's all my information on my podcast. And like I said, I do have a sponsor for the podcast. It's Rebecca Eichen for ShadowDance.com. So when you go check out her page, make sure that you say that I recommended you for her consultation. I am an affiliate of Podbean, so go to www.podbean.com/foul. If you're a business, www.podbean.com/pro/foul. You can get it on my Patreon, PayPal, Venmo, whatever. But anyways, it made me think about work and stuff like that, and it made me think about what I need to do with my life, and just think about work in a different sense. And like I said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, so make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because it really helps me and continue my imagination and stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and as always, guys, stay far out. Bye.